So, so this being the last day of the retreat, the last 2 sessions, I thought we really start to make this step of exchanging oneself for others, at least mentally. So first we have to check, kind of, are we ready to make this step mentally? Very often one would think, yes, no problem. But you see, making the step, kind of exchanging oneself for others means you put others' happiness before your happiness. Means the happiness of others is more important than yours. And again, as long as we're just sitting here meditating, that seems to be very easy to do. So what one does to see whether it will work or not is one actively takes on the suffering of others. One actively kind of forgets about oneself. Because the first thought that comes up when you hear that you will exchange your happiness for the happiness of others, or the happiness of others is more important, the first thought that comes up is, well, what about me? So that's it, we haven't understood a thing. Because this is now not about you. So, exchanging oneself for others, one forgets about oneself the same way one forgets about others when one is just concerned with one's own happiness. That's the step that we have to make. You are not important here. And for our very huge but weak egos, this is almost too much. We're so frightened that we will suffer. Not even noticing that just running after our own happiness, we've done that life after life after life after life. We've followed the self-cherishing thought. Where did it get us? We're still here. We're still in samsara, still looking for more happiness. So obviously it doesn't work. Doesn't give us the kind of happiness that we would want to have. That's the first step to understand. Following your self-cherishing, no matter how smart it is, no matter what kind of excuses it has for just being kind to yourself, it never works. It works for a short while maybe, but then again, happiness not deep enough. There's no peace. Why? Because the mind is very, very narrow. So then, as we said yesterday, exchanging yourself for others, there's fear coming up, kind of, this is dangerous. Yes, it is very dangerous, but it's only dangerous for your self-cherishing. And it's the self-cherishing that gets in the way every time we want to do an act that we could feel okay about. It's the self-cherishing that is always there when we do a negative action. Whenever there is peace and space in our minds, self-cherishing is not there. Whenever it starts to get tense, self-cherishing is there. Self-cherishing meaning I, me, forgetting about the happiness of others. Okay, so when we exchange ourselves for others, first you have to understand that this is a good thing. That you're not destroying yourself, you're just destroying your self-cherishing. Your ego will freak out. Your ego will definitely not want to do it. So don't force yourself to do it. If you don't want to do it, that's fine. But actually how we start this exchanging oneself for others, meaning taking the suffering of others and giving one's own happiness, we start with ourselves. Because the next second you will be other. This evening you will be other. Tomorrow you will be other. It's just this mistaken view of ourselves that we have, that we are the same. We change moment by moment by moment. The ego from yesterday is not the same ego as today. It just feels like that. So we do this practice which is called Tonglen. Taking the suffering of somebody else, giving it to your ego who definitely doesn't want it. Then the ego starts to rebel or freak out, and kind of you can even visualize how it is blowing up, and as it keeps blowing up then it explodes. It's our resistance. Our resistance to do something that is meaningful, something that is beneficial. When we give up resistance, the ego is blown up, has exploded. So now think of yourself as just a person, a human being, not more important than other beings. And just think of your daily life. Think of your life that you had until now. Moments of not getting what we want. Moments of having what we don't want. Moments of insecurity. Sickness. Dissatisfaction. Fear, anxiety, depression, anger, attachment, greed, and so on. See, it's quite strange. We're full of self-cherishing and full of self-pity, but we have very little compassion for ourselves. Because when you think like this, when you think about your life, it is as if your heart is sleeping. Nothing moves there. If somebody else would tell you their life story which is exactly like yours, you would have some compassion. Compassion meaning a wish to be free from all suffering. It's a heart or a mind that is engaged. With wisdom. can we generate some compassion for ourselves? Can we stop to fake that our life is completely okay? Can we start to open our eyes to our own suffering? Of uncertainty, dissatisfaction, loneliness, having what we don't want, not having what we want, and constantly losing things that we rely upon for our happiness. We have had so many moments of grief and loss, not just people who die. Situation that finished, that we felt comfortable in, happy, secure, protected. So that was your life until now. Then when we look into the future, well, nothing will change. It will just continue like this. We always hope for things to get better, but actually as we go along and become older, they're just getting worse. Body is creating more problems. The mind becomes very stiff. It's not very tolerant. We don't practice or develop patience. There's not much patience. So now you can visualize that you put your future self in the space in front of you. Yourself of this afternoon, tomorrow, next week, month, years even. And you wish that person well. Don't listen to your ego who says, wow, that's very selfish. Your ego of today will not be the same ego as the person we visualize now. That just looks like that. Think of yourself as the future I, the future me, going through life, encountering uncertainty, dissatisfaction, anxiety, sickness, death, not having what we want, having what we don't want, and constantly losing what we rely upon for our happiness. Can you open your heart towards that person? Wishing that person well, wishing for that person to be happy. So you could think, it's for this person, for this future I or me, that I'm doing this practice. So that this future I and me can be free from suffering, can have peace and happiness. And out of that space of peace and happiness, may I be able to be of benefit to others. So then, if we look at our present life, we have all those problems already, like the uncertainty, the dissatisfaction, having what we want, not having what we don't want, not having what we want, sickness, getting older. We're not dead yet, so like having emotions that we don't like, absolutely no control. Sometimes happy, sometimes depressed, most of the time confused, having to make decisions that we don't know what will be more beneficial. That's the human condition. So since we have those problems already now, you think that I take my future problems upon myself. Give it to the problems that I already have now, so that my future self can be free from suffering. So you think of all the problems that you will encounter from now until death. As you breathe in, you visualize taking them away from your future self. You can visualize that you're taking it away from yourself in the form of black light. Then you're breathing, you bring that black light down to your heart where the self-cherishing thought is residing, like a black rock. It will probably freak out. You really imagine all your future suffering from now until your death. Taking it upon yourself so it can ripen right now. See what kind of emotion that produces. Probably the self-cherishing is starting to stir, starting to get frightened. You feel it growing, and it grows and grows until it explodes. After it has exploded, you breathe out light. This light represents all the good things that you have right now. Positive minds, knowledge about how to do mind training, virtues, merit, health, youth, any other thing that you would like to have as your future self, you put into that light that now you breathe out, and you just give it to your future self, so that that future self can be happy, can be free from suffering. If you want to be very focused, you can visualize as you breathe in that black light through your right nostril. In your future self, the black light comes out through the left nostril. As you breathe out light, you breathe out the light through your left nostril, and it enters your future self through your right nostril. If it's too much, because I know it's quite early in the morning, you need to be quite focused. But try. Makes the mind very one-pointed. So it's a completely open heart. I don't care to suffer now, because now I suffer already. But my future self, I want my future self to be happy, to be free from suffering. Therefore, I take upon myself all the future suffering. Give it to my self-cherishing who doesn't like it. Because it doesn't like it, it grows. it explodes. And then from that luminous space, which is peace and space, love, compassion, I breathe out light that represents everything that my future self could possibly want. It can even be material things. So you think, what does my future self want? And you give it to yourself. As you breathe in, you think, may I be free from suffering. As you breathe out, you think, may I be well. May I be happy. May I find what I'm looking for. May I be at peace. May I be free from suffering. May I be well. May I be happy. May I find what I'm looking for. May I be at peace with whatever is. And then thanks to this practice, you see your future self transforming, becoming the person that you really want to be. Okay, so then maybe as an example, what could be the goal, what we would like to be. You visualize about 4 inches above the crown of your head as a lotus flower. In the center of the lotus, try to hold that picture. Now, not just a picture, but making it alive, seeing the qualities of a Buddha, like the body is an expression of the qualities of a Buddha's mind, having overcome all self-cherishing. And because of having overcome self-cherishing, being fearless. Because of being fearless, having compassion and wisdom. The sole purpose of existence of a Buddha is to benefit others. All the neediness completely eliminated. The goal of our practice, sitting at the crown of your head in order to inspire us, in order to help us eliminate the obstructions that we have to attain that goal, in order to make us create the merits that we need to attain that goal. So we take refuge in 2 ways. We take refuge in the causal Buddha, which is the outer Buddha. We take refuge in the resultant Buddha, which is our own Buddha potential. I go for refuge until I'm enlightened to the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Supreme. May all sentient beings have happiness and the causes of happiness. May all sentient beings be free from suffering and the causes of suffering. May all sentient, especially for the benefit of all sentient beings, I will quickly, very quickly attain the precious state of perfect, complete Buddhahood. For this reason, I will practice the yoga method of Guru Medicine Buddha. I prostrate to Guru Medicine Buddha. Each and every offering, including those actually performed. There we offer the mandala. This ground, anointed with perfumes, strewn with flowers, adorned with Mount Meru. I beseech you, Bhagawan Medicine Guru, whose sky-colored holy body of lapis lazuli signifies omniscient wisdom and compassion, as vast as limitless space. Please grant me your blessings. I beseech you, compassionate Medicine Guru, who hold in your right hand the King of Medicine, symbolizing your vow to help all pitiful sentient beings plagued by the 424 diseases. Please grant me your blessings. I beseech you, compassionate Medicine Guru, who hold in your left hand a bowl of nectar, symbolizing your vow to give the glorious undying nectar of Dharma that eliminates the degenerations of sickness, old age, and death. Please grant me your blessings. So above the crown of Guru Medicine Buddha is a wish-granting jewel, which in essence is your own root Guru. Above that is the Buddha, delightful king of clear knowing. His body is red in color. The light rays pour down twice more, each time filling your body with blissful, clear light, which you absorb. So again, we can think like this. Now with the first kind of round or recitation, we purified the gross obscurations, like the results already of the negative actions, sickness of body and mind. Then with the second one, we eliminate the causes, which are the negative emotions themselves. And then with the third one, we eliminate even the most subtle stains, which is the self-cherishing, which lies at the root of all our suffering. Om Namo Bhagavate. So you visualize being completely clear of all delusions, even the most subtle ones. Everything dissolves into the pure, luminous space of the Dharmadhatu, pure sphere phenomena, absence of inherent existence. This is what we dissolve. We don't dissolve existence, but we dissolve inherent existence. Things appear. If you look for them, you can't find one atom of a real body, or a real mind, a real table, a real gompa. Nothing exists solidly out there from its own side. This is what we dissolve. But then we can't stay in that luminous space, because as we are in that luminous space, we cannot benefit anybody. Out of compassion, we take on the form of lapis lazuli blue medicine Buddha. At your heart appears a lotus and a moon disk. Standing at the center of the moon disk is the blue seed syllable Om, surrounded by the syllables of the mantra. As you continue to recite the mantra, visualize rays of light radiating out in all directions from the syllable at your heart. So again, you can send the light to specific beings or to all sentient beings in all 6 realms, whatever you feel comfortable with, whatever your capacities. Make sure your heart is there. This wish, may all beings be free from suffering. May all beings have happiness. May we all attain a state which is free from all suffering. Happiness without suffering. And may we all live in equanimity. So you sent those 4 immeasurable thoughts out with the light rays, either to one person, to a group of people, or to all sentient beings in the 6 realms. Through your great love, wishing them to have happiness, and through your great compassion, wishing them to be free from all suffering, they are purified of all diseases and afflictions due to spirits and their causes, all the negative karma and mental obscurations. Om Namo Bhagavate Bhagavate Buddhaya Tayata Om Bekanze Bekanze Maha Bekanze Bekanze Raja Samukate Soha. Then feel great joy and think, all sentient beings are transformed into the aspect of the Medicine Buddha Guru. How wonderful that I am now able to lead all sentient beings into the Medicine Buddha's enlightenment. Then we can absorb the Medicine Buddha who's still at the crown of our heads. So if you have initiation, you absorb the Buddha through your crown. If you don't have initiation, then you absorb the Buddha through the point in your eyebrow, between your eyebrows. Guru Medicine Buddha melts into light. It's light from the bottom from the top, like breath on a mirror, and absorbs into your heart or between your eyebrows. By this your mind becomes completely one with the Dharmakaya, the essence of all the Buddhas. So now, after having practiced for a while, we try to feel that result, that deep understanding that by nature, my mind, the Buddha's mind, the Guru's mind, are completely one, completely the same. So try to fuse Medicine Buddha's mind with your own mind, not absorbing a Medicine Buddha into you, and then there's a separate Medicine Buddha inside of your heart. You realize your own potential by understanding that your mind, the Buddha's mind, are one, the same. So it's a feeling like pouring water into water. It unifies. Then we can do the dedication, page 10. Due to these merits, may I complete the ocean-like actions of the sons of the victorious ones. May I complete the Holy Saviour, refuge and helper for sentient beings who have repeatedly been kind to me in past lives. By the virtues received from attempting this practice, may all living beings who see, hear, touch, or remember me, even those who merely say my name, in that very moment be released from their miseries and experience happiness